A very good evening, all of you. Today, I would like to, the continue with the AWS, which I started the deployment process, Spring Boot applications, Angular, and all these things. But today, I just wanted to show you how to deploy the full stack Spring Boot Angular CRUD application with MySQL, and that MySQL is not available in your local host. That is also we are taking the help of AWS RDS, and our Angular application, entire Angular application is available in the AWS S3 bucket. And this full stack Spring Boot Angular cloud application, if you observe, I've implemented the backend using Spring Boot, of course, and I have implemented the front end by using what we say, Angular itself. So first, I'm not explaining you the code, but I just wanted to show you how exactly it looks like. First of all, I'm just opening the Spring Boot application. Here I'm just changing a few things. Regularly what I get, localhost 3306, and here I am passing, this is my database name of my SQL, and here these are the credentials I'm using, and everything is fine. These are the local host credentials. This is not the RDS, AWS RDS credentials. These are the MySQL local host available in my machine, MySQL credentials itself. Okay. So let me try to run this application. First, I just wanted to cross check whether it is working or not. Let me click on the Spring Boot app. If I open the console, yes, it gets started. The port number, I guess, 5000, which is running on the port number 5000. So let me come back to here, and here localhost, which is running on 5000, followed by employees. I didn't show you like what kind of REST APIs we have. So if you're observing, we have get mapping, which is returning you the list of employees. We can insert the employee data, we can get the employee by passing the ID, and we can by passing the ID we can update the employee, and by passing the ID we can delete the employee. So all the CRUD operations which we generally we are performing, so all those stuff I try to like what implement here. For each handler method, respective annotation I have added. And if you are observing one thing, for everything employees is a common URL. Along with that, wherever we need to pass the ID, so that I'm just adding. Okay. So based on this, let me open my Postman, localhost 5000 employees. Okay. So if I'm passing something like just a wait. All right. So if you're observing, if I click on the send, I think already some existing data we have. We're able to like what fetch that. All right. And now, if I wanted to like what insert any data, okay, let me click on the post, the same URL, and I'm just checking whether it is working or not. So for Venkat as Java, and here Ram is there. Let me do one thing. First name is something like Pavan. Here I am. Just give anything. I'm just giving my friends' names. Pavan at gmail.com. Okay, let me click on the send. Yeah, it gets inserted. See here, if you really want to cross check whether it is really gets inserted or not, you just click on the send, and the Pavan record also you will get a chance to see here. You just observe, and this information is not only showing here, this is going to be stored in the database also. Right now if I open, okay, it is not the database one. Connect to the database, localhost, root is the password, sorry, root is the username, and yeah. Oh, isn't it? One second, let me close all this stuff. Yeah, this one. If I observe, 6 is the database name. Yeah, employee, select the rows. Yeah, you see Venkat and all this. Just now I have inserted Pavan itself. In the same manner, you can perform the update, you can perform delete and all this stuff. For example, if I'm passing based on the ID, I wanted to like what insert, I wanted to like what fetch the data. Use the get method and just checking all these REST APIs. Yeah, it is just giving you that particular record only. If I want to like what delete, or if I want to like, for example, I'm just changing to like what put, since I wanted to like what update. For example, based on the 100th record is RAM. Instead of RAM, I'm just passing RK and then yes, here rk@gmail.com. So I'm just changing all this stuff. I'm just clicking on the send. Yes, it is getting updated. See here, previously it was giving you something. If I'm just changing to like what get, and then if I click on the send, RK, and you can observe that stuff inside even the database also. If I run this, previous it was RAM and now it is rk@gmail.com. So all these operations, whatever the REST API calls you're making, so these are going to be updated in the corresponding database itself. I guess you're getting the clarity, right? Definitely I'll try to like what upload this code in the git, in the video description. I'll try to share it, and this is how exactly it is working. Okay, fine, it's a basic one. If you are really aware of the basic Spring Boot, as it's not a problem for us. I mean, you can easily understand this is the backend application which I developed. Okay, for this I developed the front end also, corresponding front end, where I am using the Angular. Of course, for this we have different components to create the employee, to delete the employee, like how exactly we have prepared the different REST API methods in the backend code. In the same manner, in the Angular, we are going to create the different components. Okay, something like how can I say, to create the employee, we are going to create employee component. I think you already aware of how to create the components in Angular by using CLI command, nggc, all these things, the basic stuff. And along with the components I have developed the service.ts. Where exactly it can be communicated with the REST APIs. So for example, here let me uncomment this, and right now my base URL is something like localhost colon 5000 slash employees. See here, that only. For example, now I wanted to like what, see, get employee list method I'm defining, where it is returning observable of employee array. And on top of this, I think this is the code of the Angular itself. Here in the constructor, we are injecting HTTP client variable of HTTP client stuff, and on top of this HTTP client, you're calling, we do have a different methods. So for example, if I call the get, it will work with respect to get method. Okay, a get of employee array, and you're passing this dot base URL, and this dot base URL means what, this particular stuff itself. So in that way, we are going to like what handle all these methods. As part of this, we are going to like what use routing stuff also, where I am defining the different paths. Okay, for the create employee, this is the link. So for that, actually in the app dot component.html, if you are observing that whenever you are using this router hyphen outlet, that dynamically the corresponding component will be loaded. That's the basic stuff of the Angular, I think. So as of now, I think it is not in running mode. I think I wanted to show you how exactly it is working now. To run this, ng serve hyphen o. So then it takes, of course, some time in order to start this application in the Angular. So once it gets started, definitely, you're able to like what see that stuff, whatever I have designed as part of this, and moreover, you can get a chance to like what fetch the data from the database itself, like how exactly you're seeing. In the Postman, how exactly you're seeing the data in the form of JSON object, and that stuff we are able to like what see in the browser itself, since we implemented the front end, right? So yeah, it takes some time, I think. Yeah, Just letting browser application bundles. Yeah, it is just building. Please wait, kindly wait for few minutes, few seconds. I think. So once it is done, I will show you the deployment process. So that is my okay. See here, localhost 4200 employees, and here when I clicked on the employee list, right now 4 records we have. You can add the employee, you can update the employee, you can delete, you can view it. For example, if I click on the view, you'll get the information. When I clicked on this link, you will get this. This is the header information. This is the footer information. All this is the bootstrap stuff also I try to use here itself. Okay, for example, I wanted to like what update here, which I wanted to like what update here. For example, update instead of RK Rama Krishna or rams.11mza at gmail.com. Simply if I am just update, see here again it gets updated, and not only here, not only in the UI part, that stuff is going to be updated here also. So that is what you need to understand, right? So that means in the Angular, like how exactly in the backend it is working, in the front end also it is working in the same manner, of course. Okay, for example, I just want to like what delete this particular row. For example, if I click on the delete, so now the 3 rows are there. Okay, if I cross check in the database also, that particular row got deleted itself. Okay, so perfect, right? So backend code, my front end code, absolutely it is working. Of course, if you want to like what add the employee from here also, you can add. For example, Channa at gmail.com. Let me click on the submit. That's it. You see, in this way you can able to like what inside, and you can cross check in the database also. Okay, so just to why I'm trying to like what explaining before, because I am trying to like what deploy this particular application only. That is the reason. Just try to like what have a look once on top of this backend and as well as what front end application. Okay, so coming back to the deployment process. So now if you are observing in the code, Spring Boot, Angular CRUD application, if I open application or properties, here I am using MySQL local MySQL credentials you used. So now I just wanted to like what use the AWS RDS MySQL instance. Respect to credentials, I just wanted to like what use. So to do this, what we have to do is first let me try to like what create the RDS instance with respect to MySQL. So for that, so open AWS account, click on the this particular sign into console. Okay, so go to the RDS services. Otherwise, you can type here, click on the RDS. Do we have any databases? If it is there, not a problem. I mean, I think I have few databases are there. So these are previous databases. It's not a problem. I mean, just try to like what create one more database newly itself. I just wanted to like what. Otherwise, you can use the existing one if it suits your requirement. You can use the existing one. But I just wanted to like what show you how to create the new database. Just click on the create database and standard create. It's fine. And this is the MySQL instance. Don't go for Aurora MySQL compatible. Go for MySQL itself. And here production dev test, don't select this one. These are the chargeable. Just click on the free type and database instance identifier, and here I am just giving Java jungle, or else you can give any name. You can give CRUD operations, or else CRUD operations, CRUD app. Okay, so master username is root I am giving, and master password simply I am giving my channel name is Java jungle, and here also I am giving Java jungle, and we have to give, all these are fine. Public access, I think public access, yes. Yeah, public access, yes. And after that, additional configuration 3306 is the default port number, even if it is an RDS MySQL instance, that's not a problem. And additional configuration, click on this. Initial database name is CRUD, what I gave, any name you can give, CRUD app. I'm just giving same CRUD app. All right, so these are the things we have to give while we are creating the database. Just click on the create database, that's it. Yeah, it will take some time to create. Oh, when you are getting this kind of pop-up, just try to like what simply close. Okay, So of course it is just creating, it is just taking some time to create this. And meanwhile I don't want these databases. Okay, later I will delete, once your work is done, just try to like what delete these databases, because if it is a license, it's fine, but when you are working on top of the free tier version, try to like what delete as soon as possible once you done your work. Otherwise it may chargeable. So that's why don't take any risk. Just try to like what delete once your work is done. Okay, whatever the instances, whatever the databases you have created, please try to like what delete as soon as possible once your work is done. All right. Okay, so again it is taking some time, you have to wait. So one by one we have to step by step process, we'll try to like what follow. So accordingly at last we'll try to ultimately we are able to like what deploy everything in the cloud itself, even your Angular application, your backend application, and your MySQL, everything is available in the cloud itself. You are able to like what fetch from anywhere. So that is our ultimate goal. Okay, please wait. Okay, it just takes some time. If I click on the CRUD app, actually we need the domain and the endpoint actually we required. Okay, we already knew about if I open the CRUD operations. So this is the DB name. Okay, let me copy this DB name, CRUD app, right? So go to the here DB name instead of SYS, CRUD app I'm giving. Username is root, password is I gave my channel name, and instead of localhost, here we have to pass that particular generated endpoint itself. Okay, that's why actually I'm waiting. So this is the AWS RDS MySQL instance. So accordingly we supposed to update this application dot properties with your AWS RDS MySQL credentials. Okay, back, go to the connectivity and security. Yeah, again it is waiting, it is just still creating the database. Your database might take a few minutes to launch. You can use settings from CRUD app to simply configuration. Yep, done, it's done. Successfully created database, and the moment it's done you will get the endpoint. Just copy this, come back to here, and instead of localhost just replace with that particular endpoint. So anyhow we changed username and password based on the RDS MySQL stuff. Let me save this. Okay, since it is automatically rebuild, rerun the application, because I am adding Spring Boot live tools, Spring Boot dev tools as a dependency. If you didn't add while you are working, you supposed to turn off, you supposed to stop the application and again you have to restart. If you are observing in the dependencies part, when you are adding this dependency, what happened, whenever you are making any changes, automatically it detects and then accordingly it will rerun. So we no need to like what manually do that stuff. So that's why better to like what add this dependency while you're creating your Spring Boot application. Okay, that's it, right? It is in running mode right now. Fine. Now what I have to do is just come to the localhost, and if I click on the employees localhost, click on the send, so there is nothing right now, nothing is there, because of this is the first time actually we are trying to like what add this is the RDS MySQL instance. So what I am doing, rks@gmail.com, when I click on the send, yep, it is getting inserted. And one more record I wanted to like what insert, for example, Venkat here, k venkat@gmail.com, click on the send. Okay, two records are there right now. Okay, two records are there right now. If I wanted to like what cross check all the employees in a single shot, just change the method type and you'll get all the two records. It's fine, right? These records are going to be inserted where? Here. No, right? So these records, this is not the locally available right now. So where exactly it is available, just connect to the database, and that particular local host, whatever you copied just now, that endpoint is there now. Username is root, click on the OK, and password is my channel name Java Jungle. Click on the save password in Vault, click on the OK, that's it. So here if you are observing, with the CRUD app, database is going to be generated, tables, employees, select the rows. We are able to see the two records. I hope you understand. Okay, so right now my backend is working with the locally available MySQL or AWS MySQL. Of course, that RDS. Okay, that RDS service we are able to consume. Okay, so this backend is started to like what use accordingly. If you are observing application.properties, I use those credentials only. Perfect, right? So now what I have to do is later what is my next step, I just want to like what deploy this entire application. Okay, the entire application, backend application. Let me stop this first of all. I just want to like what deploy this entire application into AWS itself. Okay, for that actually we need a jar. So that particular jar, by using EBS, Elastic Beanstalk, I just want to like what deploy. In my previous videos also, if you gone through that, definitely you will get an idea. Okay, it won't take much time actually to work with this. Okay, let me anyhow I have already stopped this application. What I have to do is, let me okay, build the jar file first of all. Let me I mean, if I open the pom.xml file, I gave the final name as Spring Boot Full Stack Angular. So with that name only, the jar file is going to be created on the target folder of your project. Let me run as maven build with three dots, give the goal as clean install. Skip the test, click on the apply, click on the run. That's it. So if you open the console, just observe what is happening. So finally we need a jar, and that jar file we are going to deploy in the EBS. I mean Elastic Beanstalk while you're creating. Of course, our next step is to create the Elastic Beanstalk only. Alright. Yeah, you see Spring Boot full stack Angular dot jar is getting created, right? So now what I have to do is okay, just go to our again AWS stuff, go to Elastic Beanstalk, click on the open link in the new tab. Alright, already one application is there, but I wanted to like what, if you want you can use the existing application, that's not a problem, but I wanted to like what create a new application. So go to the application stuff, create the application, give the name as CRUD app, first create the application, then create the environment. Okay, web server environment is fine. Choose a platform, of course it is Java. Okay, I'm not changing the version or stuff, anything. Upload your code, version label is any name you can give, any value, local file, choose the file, and here it is. Okay, this is available, okay, and the target folder of my AWS stuff. Okay, this is not the one. Let me go to our learning stuff, and here Spring Boot. Okay, AWS Spring Boot Angular CRUD application target folder. Yep, this is the one. Okay, I deployed, I mean I applied. Click on the next. Single instance free tier eligible only. Okay, so EC2 instance, this one I have already created in the IAM, so that's why actually it gets populated here, and then we can select this. All right, so again what I have to do is click on the next. VPC I'm not selecting. Click on the activated stuff, and now enable the database. Just follow the steps, same whatever I am doing, just try to like what follow. Snapshot none, MySQL 8 point, okay, everything is fine. Root username root, and password is Java Jungle is the RDS stuff. Don't create the snapshot. Okay, click on the next, click on the next. All right, okay, here I'm just adding, we have to like what add the security group to this particular EBS while you're creating. I'm just adding the default one, but if you are observing this security group, I mean if you are observing my previous videos, I mean if you really want to like what see those security groups, I'll show you. open link in the new tab, EC2, and here if you are observing security groups, and here if you are observing the existing security group, please try to edit the inbound rule, okay, add the MySQL Aurora, okay, here so many other, just select MySQL, and instead of anywhere IPv4, like this, you just do it, you just save the rules, and then I mean you have to add the rule, and then you have to do like this. So this is what anyhow I have done with respect to inbound rules, and outbound rules also same, you have to do the same. Okay, so I mean click on the edit outbound rule, add the rule, same thing, MySQL Aurora, you have to add that particular security group, you have to add to this particular EBS while you're creating the EBS, the same thing as Z0080. Okay, all right, so if you are not understanding, you just please try to watch my previous videos, definitely you will understand. It is not a big problem for us. Security group, normal security group only. Okay, single instance, on demand, and all these things are common. Okay, click on the next. When I clicked on the next, so what is my next step is something okay, that's it, right? Click on the next. So we no need to change anything here, I mean in this particular phase. Okay, it is at last we have to click on the submit button, that's it. So then of course again it takes some time to what we can to create the EBS, because internally it's supposed to create the EC2 instance and S3 bucket. So much of internal work is done by the EBS itself, so that is why it takes definitely time, compared to what RDS MySQL instance. It may take some more time also, but we have to wait, that's it. Okay, if anything is in our hand, we can do, we can make it little fast. If something is not in our hand, definitely we have to wait. All right, so yeah, even if you can observe what is happening in the console, I mean in the log itself with respect to info, you can observe what is happening, what your EBS is doing internally. Okay, that you can observe from there. Okay, so here once it is done, the application, okay, so you will get something, I mean the endpoint, that endpoint actually you have to use in your Angular application. So that is our next step, I'll show you. Anyhow, our backend is right now communicated with your AWS RDS MySQL instance. Okay, it is communicating right now. So now this entire backend application I am deploying in the cloud itself using EBS of AWS. Okay, at last I will upload the Angular application also into the cloud, and these two can be get together communicated with each other. Okay, so that our application can work. That is our ultimate goal. Between anyhow your database is your available in the AWS cloud itself. So generally once it is done and the applications, if I am opening, if this is my existing previous application, if I open, so the domain we are getting, see this domain actually we require. So that is what for that actually we have to wait. See, when I clicked on the application, yeah, health is in pending, domain also we are not getting. Once that work is done internally, I will get that particular domain. So that's why we have to wait. Yep. While you're following my videos, if you, I mean, I'm not editing more. I'm straight away whatever I have, I mean in the video, whatever it is there, I'm just straight away I'm uploading. So please try to forward in the waiting period, okay, while you're watching. So don't waste your time like me. Okay, oh my god, it is taking more and more time. Okay, sometimes based on the region also it may take much time. Right now mine is which region we are in? I'm in which region? Asia Pacific. Okay. By seeing it, you may feel like it is very easy, but while you're doing, definitely you feel very hard. Okay, so that's why my humble request who are following my sessions, definitely please try to practice. If any doubts while you're doing, if any questions, if any errors you're getting, please try to keep post your questions in the comment section. Okay, so without practicing you won't get more clarity, so that is 100% true. So day-to-day activities, I mean, in the AWS, it is changing the console view, UI experience. It is always getting updated. So that's why we have to be very careful on top of your, working and all this stuff. Today, by this time you're watching, the AWS UI looks like this. It may change by the time you're watching, so, but ultimately the concept is remain same. But of course, we need to understand. We need to do some R&D, like where exactly those UI buttons, UI is there. We have to cross check all this stuff. Otherwise, you won't get a chance to work with this. Okay. So I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to convey. Perfect. Okay, Elastic Beanstalk is launching environment. It is just created RDS database. It's supposed to create environment using EB region. Health has transition to pending. Security group created. Okay, created EIP RDS. Created RDS database named something which is a generated auto generated name. Okay, okay. That's it, perfect. So see, we have got the domain name. See here, okay. Just when I click on this, uh, we'll see. Yeah, okay. I mean, it may take some more time. If I'm giving employees, we'll see what it is saying. 502 bad gateway. Okay, once again run. Once again run. Once again run. Okay. We have to wait. I guess we have to wait. Definitely, we have to wait. Even health is pending, so that's fine. Yeah, white label error, great. When you're getting the white label error, that means after this you have to pass your endpoint URL. When I'm clicking on the employees right now, I think two records are there, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so those two records will get a chance to like what see here. Yeah, so what I am doing, let me copy this. So this is perfectly all right. Now our entire application is got deployed in the AWS using EBS, and with that particular domain only we are able to like what fetch the data, isn't it right? Okay, so and if you want to like what insert, even insert also, yes, you can insert instead of localhost, I mean up to localhost, this you just delete it and pass Okay, so just try to like what insert one more record, just change it to like what post. Right now it is not a local host, it is an AWS host. For example, Channa I'm using, and here, okay, yum, here channa@gmail.com. When I click on the send, yeah, it got inserted, see here. And the same, I just want to like what's show you the browser itself to get the data. Right now it was giving you 2 records. Now the moment if I'm running, one more record got inserted, see here, id is auto generated. So 3 records we have right now. Our entire application is available inside the AWS. Okay, perfect, pretty much all right. So up to here it's clear, right? So after this, what is our next step? It's pretty much cool, right? So what I have to do is, let me copy this, come back to our Angular application, go to the service.ts, and previously my base URL is this, and now I am just enabling this, and instead of this, right now whatever you have copied, control V, that's it. Let me save this. Perfect, completely it is working, right? And it got compiled successfully. Once it gets compiled successfully, I don't know, I'll just have a try once. Let me go to the, yeah, it's pretty much all right. I mean, it is working right now. Localhost 42200/employees, it is giving you 3 records right now. So you can update, you can delete anything, you can do this. From here also you can insert one more. For example, oh yeah, Pavan, I'm taking pavan@gmail.com. Okay, it's not OCM, it's a COM. Click on the submit. Yep, one more record also gets inserted. So in this way we can work it, right? So but right now the only problem is, if you are observing, the you are a localhost 4200 employees, that means my Angular application is running in the locally. But this Angular application also I would like to deploy into the AWS by using S3 bucket. So to do this, what I have to do is very simple. Come back to our application. Okay, Control C. Okay, stop this, and let me try to delete this. Okay, so now what I have to do is, okay, what I have to do is, we have to like what prepare the I mean, we have to build this project. To build this project, what I have to do is ng build. Okay, ng build. Okay, ng space build. The moment, I mean, of course it takes a little time to build the project of your entire Angular application. Once it is done, one dist folder will be created. That dist folder files you need to upload inside the AWS S3 bucket. So that is the next step. That is the final step, I guess. So once it's done with that particular S3 bucket, because anyhow your Angular application is trying to communicate with your AWS deployable Spring Boot backend application. Okay, so once you upload this entire build file of your Angular project, so that everything is available in the cloud, so that yeah, see, it's done. So this folder is going to be created under this, some files are there. Those files I'm going to like what upload inside the AWS S3 bucket. So come back to services. Let me open link in the new tab. Already do we have any buckets right now? Yes, we have 2 buckets are there, but it's fine. Let me click on the create bucket. Give the bucket name as CRUD app. It's fine, but uncheck this block all public access, but check in this I acknowledge bucket version, and all these things are fine. Advanced settings, click on the create bucket. So once the bucket gets created, 1 second, create bucket. Okay, bucket with the same name already exists. Okay, CRUD app demo. All right. Okay, click on the create bucket. Yep, it is getting created right now. Yes, successfully created bucket, CRUD app demo. Once it is created, okay, so just click on the upload. We'll create add files, and in the AWS Angular CRUD app, Angular frontend, dist folder, and these files, Control A, click on the open. That's it. And after that, click on the upload. That's it. So once it is done, what we have to do, I'll tell you. Okay, close it. So go to the properties and go to the static website hosting, click on the edit, click on the enable, and pass the index document as index.html, that is our index file. And other files, if you have, just pass that. Right now I don't have. Click on the save changes. The moment you successfully edited static website hosting, you will get one URL. Yeah, with this you are able to perfectly all right. I mean, this is the when I see this, oh my god, 4034 forbidden error we are getting. I think I've already told you this kind of issue in my previous videos while I'm using S3. I mean, one video is there, how to deploy our Angular application in the S3 bucket. Follow that. I mean, it's pretty much simple to resolve this issue. What we have to do is go to the permission sections. I think go to the bucket policy. All right, right. So I think I have already this policy is there with me. Let me copy this, come back to here, Control V, and here bucket name is something like CRUD app demo, right? CRUD app hyphen demo, that's it. So I think warning. Yep. Okay, fine. Version is automatically gets changed. Okay, objects can be public, and I have added this policy also right now. And again, go to the properties. Previously we got 4034 but access denied. So let me again click on this. Perfectly, it is coming. See here. Right now, previously I am able to like what's work my execute the Angular application with respect to localhost. But right now, if I run this, I mean, you're definitely you're not getting, because your Angular application right now is sitting in your AWS S3 bucket, and that internally communicates with your EBS deployable backend application, Spring Boot application. So if you are observing this particular URL, if you are observing this particular URL, okay, what do we have? Let me see here this particular URL. Even if I'm giving this, of course, I'm after this session I'm going to like what delete all those stuff. But with this right now, if I'm sharing this, you also can able to like what access, edit, and any operations you are able to perform, because it is available in the cloud itself. The application, entire application, Spring Boot application is available in the cloud, and the AWS RDS SQL is available in the cloud, and your Angular application is also available in the S3 bucket of your AWS. So I hope this is how exactly we can deploy the full stack Spring Boot Angular cloud application with MySQL on AWS using Beanstalk and AWS S3 bucket and RDS services. So these are the basic steps, and these steps I will try to share it in the video description. Okay, so please try to practice while you are doing. I mean, not only getting, you can add the employee, you can update the employee, you can delete the employee, anything you can do. Okay, it's like a normal way. But the only thing is, these applications right now available in the cloud itself. So that is what you need to understand. Okay, so I hope you understood this video regarding how to deploy this Angular, Spring Boot, and the entire full stack cloud application using AWS different services like S3, RDS, and EBS, Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, we'll meet you in the next session for some other concept. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.